Hello, this is Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer.
Welcome home.
Soar into tower. We are ready for takeoff.
Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Hey, it's Amy from DVC Clubhouse.
Hey Clubbers, it's Scott from DVC Clubhouse.
Hey, it's Kathleen from DVC Clubhouse.
Welcome aboard. It's Phil from DVC Clubhouse.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Debrief podcast brought to you by DVC Clubhouse. This is Amy, and I'm joined as always by Kathleen, Scott, and Phil. Hey guys.
Hi, guys.
Hi guys.
Welcome aboard, guys.
Today we are going to be talking about ways that we wish we could be spending our money in Disney World that we can't currently be spending.
Well, there are multiple ways for that. This is one specific way we'd like to spend our money, because if there's one thing I can do in Disney, it's spend money.
Oh, no, but I mean, one way that we want to, but that we can't. We're actually like wanting to spend more money than we actually do. And it's because there is a void in the DVC merch world and even just Disney overall.
That's what I was going to say. It's a Disney merch world, DVC for sure, but there's a huge void in just the overall Disney merchandise world.
There's a giant void filled with crappy merchandise, ugly and poorly conceived merch that we would like to, as we've mentioned on many different episodes, if we could have a sit down with some Disney execs, we would have a serious talking to with them about the merch. So
right, as long as we have touched on this before. I'm just throwing it out there into the universe. This is not Club 33. This is not Victoria and Albert's. If somebody, anybody, anywhere in the DVC merchandising or corporate world hears our pleas, we would love to sit down with you and tell you all of the money you are missing out on that we would love to give you for good merchandise.
And it's really quite simple. We're going to sit there and we're going to say exactly what you've been doing. Just do the opposite.
That's about right.
We don't want a pizza lounge fly.
And there are so many creative people out there that are selling Disney merch on Etsy and on, even selling on Etsy, they're selling Disney merch that they create. But even on sites like eBay and Poshmark, they're selling stuff that Disney used to make. Disney used to do a really, really good job at merch. And I have actually gone online to buy old DVC merch and old Disney World merch from those sites, because when I'm looking for things that I want that are just like basic, not like Spirit jersey that has like 3D slices of pizza splashed all over it and tie-dye and neon glow in the dark stuff. Just like basic stuff that I can wear every day, like in my everyday life. I can't get that at Disney or on DisneyStore.com. I go to Poshmark or eBay and I buy stuff there. I mean, one of the items that I wear most frequently, which you all have probably seen me wear, is it's like a darker blue. It's not quite navy, maybe like a cobalt blue.
It's a Navi blue.
Navi Tuxedo. It's a fleece. It's a fully zippered fleece with just the old DVC logo. Small, like it's not giant across my back. It's just a tiny one, like up in like the front one side of the fleece, and I love it because it's simple. I wear it all over the place, at home. It's something that I feel like I'm not like embarrassed to be wearing and run into people like in the supermarket or, when I teach my chair yoga classes, because it's just simple. Like somewhere along the lines, Disney merch decided that they needed to make things so in your face. And it kind of took away this, like what felt like just something that you would get just to like be serviceable. I feel like Disney stopped making serviceable merchandise, like practical merchandise, in favor of these like over the top things that you would wear like because of like the aesthetics of it for like one Instagram picture that you might
That's
post. Like,
exactly it. You just touched on it. It's all about the gram.
yeah. And so like bring me fine, like you can have those, but can we also have some merch for those of us who just want a practical, serviceable item that I can use every day in my life and that I'm not like caring about splashing it all over social media for views?
I'm going to channel my inner Amy after her last 2 episodes where she managed to talk about those who don't belong in the lowest common denominator. So when it comes to general Disney merchandise, and I'm not going to DVC right now because I think they've got a whole separate problem with DVC. When it comes to general Disney merchandise, I understand who your crowds are. I understand that it's first-time visitors, one-time visitors, super excited, once in a lifetime visitors. But when it comes to your general merchandise, please stop catering to the lowest common denominator. There's some of us that are willing to spend a lot of money on good, classy merch, and it's just not available. Period. It's just not available.
No.
It's better recently. We have noticed more specific resort merchandise. And I think that was it's stuff that people would use. It is more practical things. It's actually better looking shirts, it's bags. It's
I agree with that, but I don't think the general merchandise is better.
no, definitely not. I mean, I'm talking more specific DVC resort merchandise. I know we're not getting into that yet, but the general, like Phil said, the general merchandise is just it's awful.
Bad.
It's cheap, ugly Dayglow shirts with every character and every castle and every bit of glitter and every sparkle and every rhinestone. It's like you said, cheesy pieces of pizza that are haphazardly stitched onto a Spirit jersey. It's cheap backpacks. It's cheap hip packs. There's no good coffee mugs anymore. Luke wanted a Mickey Mouse tie because he has to wear a tie to some of his performances lately. I had to wait until I got home and order it from a third party supplier because you couldn't find a tie in Walt Disney World. I have a scarf from like 10 years ago that's an absolutely beautiful scarf. Good luck finding that nowadays. I can find the $15 ugly knit blue one that says happiest place on earth, but that really classy plaid one I have that has little Mickeys hidden in it, good luck trying to find that again. If you could take the class that is in a lot of the World Showcase shops and turn that into Disney themed elsewhere on property, I would spend an egregious amount of money on it, but it's just not there. We find ourselves every single visit spending less and less on merchandise because the merchandise just gets cheesier and chintzier and cheaper and just ugh.
Well, I mean, I think it's an issue when you can go to Home Goods and find cuter Disney mugs there than you can in World of Disney in, Disney Springs. And I was just in Disneyland and and went to the World of Disney there, and I did end up buying a pair of mini ears, but that have been around for a long time. They weren't new, and I bought them for a very specific reason. And Emma wanted me to get her a Donald shirt. But walking through World of Disney in downtown Disney and Disneyland, I was hesitant to go in because I really didn't want to drop a lot of money. But I walked through and I wasn't even really tempted. I think I spent like $50 in there and with my discount between the two items. And I just that's a big problem for Disney. Like it's good for me because I walked out and was like, "Whew, I escaped." But when you have somebody like me who is a huge Disney fan and you've got a captive audience of somebody who's like walking through downtown Disney, it was our first day there before Emma and I had this like 2-week California trip and we were excited. When you can't capitalize on somebody's excitement when they have like a dopamine rush of like being in Disney and kind of like therefore all inhibitions are like gone to the wind and you're just like in a kind of like in a spending frenzy because you're just
Your
so excited to
vacation
be
dollars
there.
aren't real dollars.
Yeah.
It doesn't count the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, and you've got like the adrenaline of being there. Like there's like that what that is. Like you kind of you start to get into a spending frenzy because you're just excited and everything feels fake and you're just like living in the moment and so you just do it. And I walked through and was just like there's like nothing here. And even like with the ears, like I said, I bought the ears that I bought were like they've been around a while. And I bought them for a very specific reason for a cruise that I'm going on. But even like the ears, like there was nothing really new there. And one thing I have to say is like I feel like Disney, because they're doing all of these partnerships with all of these companies now where they're, licensing other companies to create merchandise like Bobble Bar and Loungefly and Kate Spade and Coach and all of these other companies that they are kind of outsourcing the creation of merch to. Disney's making a ton of money on those licensing agreements. And then these companies are charging tons of money for people to buy merch. But I kind of feel like that is hurting like the in park merchandise experience because they're creating all of this either really upscale stuff that's really expensive, like Coach and Tommy Bahama, or they're creating really junky crap. The Loungeflies, I even feel like when Loungefly first started, their bags were like really cute. And I mean, one of my favorite things to do on DVC Clubhouse Facebook group, and by the way, if you are not a member of that group, you should go over there and follow us.
Because everybody belongs there.
Everyone, mostly everybody.
Join us.
I love posting the pictures of like the most ridiculously absurd lounge flies. Like they're just so dumb looking. And why? Like, why are you creating this ridiculous looking merchandise? It took something that was like really fun and unique with like Loungefly, and now it's just, it's like everything is a money grab. And even like the fly ears, a lot of them are cute, but so many of them are so heavy. They're not comfortable. You wear them like I loved those tiki room ones that I got that I broke my I had said that in the year 2023 I wasn't going to buy any mini ears, and then I broke that because I saw those because they were adorable, but they were so heavy that they're like flopping. Like they can't even like the band can't even support the weight of these like leather ears. And so like they flop down. I just think everything is either being like overdone or they are making it so they are, licensing out to other companies who are making merchandise that is so expensive.
But you
Very.
did touch on something there. I agree that they are making some incredibly expensive merch. Look at the Dooney and Burks that I've bought my wife over the last few years. But with that said, look at the companies that are making a killing on some of this merchandise. Look at the Kate Spades that they're getting all the money for, but they're classy. Look at the, how do you pronounce it? Is it the Results shirts? They're now licensed by Disney.
Roosevelt's, yeah.
Roosevelt's, all right, I don't even know what they are. They're being licensed by Disney and making some really fun and interesting designs. They're sparking conversation. Everyone's wearing them in the parks. Look at some of the lounge flies, some of the special event stuff is a lot of fun. Disney needs to take a page from these people they're licensing and provide some merchandise versus the same old Taiwanese junk with a CVS receipt that's hanging off the side that doesn't last one day in the park, never mind getting it home and wearing it. They're making very cool, subtle things. Almost all of the shirts that I wear, I get off of third-party providers because they're all subtle references to Disney. They're higher quality shirts. They're not, as Amy said, right in your face. Their color schemes also have been terrible. That iridescent for the anniversary was absolutely awful. As a 44-year-old man, I would not be caught dead wearing most of that stuff. Their 40th anniversary for Epcot was terrible. Their 35th was incredible. It was throwback. It was retro. I spent an absurd amount of money on 35th anniversary, and I wanted desperately. I was there on the 40th. I had an enormous budget for what I wanted to buy, and when I got in person and saw it, I really didn't want much of anything, to be honest with you. Their color choices are awful. Their design choices are awful. And worst of all, their quality is deplorable.
We were at Animal Kingdom Lodge a couple weeks ago, and the resort specific merchandise at Jumbo House was very nice. It's the nicest I've seen in a long time. And I actually did buy Animal Kingdom Lodge ears and a shirt. I think it was all very subtle. It wasn't in your face loud. I thought it was very nice.
I mean, I will say I did recently buy a beach bag at Beach Club that I absolutely love. And it's like the first time that I've walked into that. Like I used to love going to that gift shop because clearly I love Beach Club. It's my favorite resort. I'm like looking to spend money on stuff there, but like nothing really has been appealing. But I did love that beach bag and I've been using it all summer. So they did get it pretty right. I mean, I love it. I don't need like as much of like the large graphic text that they have on there, but it is better than a lot of the stuff that I've seen lately, and I've gotten a lot of compliments on it. So,
You mentioned Disneyland. When we went, this is a once every 5-year trip for us. All I wanted was a very simple Disneyland hat that just had the old fashioned stylized capital letter D on the hat, the way they always had them for years and years and years. It was absolutely impossible to find in Disneyland. I could not find a ball cap that was not absolutely atrocious, and I wanted to give them money. We wanted to find ears for everybody, and we found one pair that was okay that Mackenzie liked, and that was it. I wanted some shirts that said Disneyland across them because up until recently you couldn't get Disneyland stuff except at Disneyland. They've now since changed that. I'm seeing a lot of Disneyland stuff in Walt Disney World. I couldn't find anything that I would wear in public, but boy, was it great for an Instagram post in front of the turnstiles at Disneyland. It stuck right out at you and showed up in a photo.
I remember around the the Millennium celebration, they had some really great merchandise, and I also got a fleece that time, like around that time, that had an embroidered logo of the four parks icons that just said Walt Disney World, like 2020. Again, it was like embroidered and it was like it's small and it was perfect for wearing around the parks if it was, because it was, I think, in the winter months and it can get cool sometimes. But then to bring it back and be able to wear it at home and that's what I don't want to wear things in the parks that I won't also wear at home. And I feel as though, again, just to not beat a dead horse about like Instagram and making things like so that you wear them one time and then you never wear them again. I am not the demographic that is going to buy the thing that you only wear once. I want to be able to purchase something that I will use over and over again, not just when I'm at Disney World. I want to be able to wear it when I'm home also. And
Okay, Amy, let's be honest here. Let's be honest. I'm just going to jump in. I know you bought the pizza Spirit jersey and you wear it out every Friday night when you go to your local bar with the
To
dripping
Tret.
cheese and
She wears
pepperoni.
it to Tret.
yeah, that's what I wear it with to Village Trat. Me and my pizza Spirit jersey and ears. You got me, Scott.
All right.
Let's take a page also from Tokyo and Hong Kong Disney.
I was actually going to go there.
Before we do that, I just need to say the way that Phil and I became friends really was because of Disney merch and because he was making fun of me when I bought the white knit Spirit jersey and I
Grandma's
posted a
Spirit jersey.
picture. Yeah, and I posted a picture and of myself wearing it like 3 different ways and he like absolutely just like tore into me because of how terrible he thinks this Spirit jersey is.
And now she
And then I
understands
went
my
ahead,
personality a lot better.
yeah. And then I went ahead and I got the navy blue one. And I think I took a picture of myself wearing it and intentionally tagged him in it so that he could see that not only did he not deter me from wearing the white one, but I bought the navy blue one. But I have to say that those two are like probably like the most like ostentatious pieces of Disney merch that I have. And those are like pretty mild compared to what is out there right now.
I just want to say
Yes.
hats off to Amy because at least she identified right from the get-go that this is just my personality. Like if I don't like you, I just ignore you. I nothing you. But if I'm picking on you and engaging, that's just my personality. And she fired right back, and the rest is history.
And we've been bickering online ever since.
It's entertaining.
I remember that.
I have actually had conversations. People go, "Wow, you really don't like each other, huh?" I'm like, "You have no idea the conversations that we have offline. This is just how we communicate."
And it all
But back
started
to
over a Spirit
Tokyo and Hong
jersey.
Kong. I'm sorry, what was that?
Said it all started over a Spirit jersey.
An awful Spirit jersey. Scott, did you say you were going to chime in as well with the overseas parks and some of the incredible merch they have compared to us?
I was just going to say, because I have seen a lot of the stuff that they have over there, and it is 1,000 times better than anything that we could pick up over here. And I don't know if it's just a different team, a merchandising team. I don't know what it is, but I would be broke if I had access to that like I do the stuff over here. I mean, it's incredible what they put out over there.
There's more imagination, there is more creativity, it is a higher quality, it is a lot more fun, it is more useful. They hit it out of the park in those overs I get that, hit it out of the park. They hit it out of the park in those overseas parks, and we're just stuck with the same day glow pink and blue awful looking backpack that says Disney up and down the front of it.
I mean, it's not all terrible, but it got to a point where I actually was joking that there was a team of people sitting around a table making bets that they could come up with the crappiest stuff you could imagine, and people were still going to buy it.
And they were. I mean, that's the problem. People are still buying it because they want to memorialize that trip they took to Disney, and that's the merchandise that's available. And hey, maybe we're not the target demographic. Maybe they want that loud, bright stuff for everyone to go home and wear to show off their trip and talk about it to get more friends to show up. I think that Disney looks at it as that person that goes once every 5 years is going to spend more money on merch than I do. And I'm not sure how to break it to them, but I have some pretty serious funding for Disney merch, and I would be willing to give it to them left, right, and center. Just give me the stuff that I want to buy.
So what would be your like number one category of merch that you feel like if you could have a sit down with the Disney execs, like what is it that you're what is on your proposal that you want them to consider?
I want good quality home goods type of things. I used to go every trip and get a coffee mug that came home with me. Give me good coffee mugs that are actually number one, you can drink out of them. Number two, they're not this weird shape that doesn't allow you to hold it. Number three, make it something that's Disney without being in the shape of Chip and Dale together hugging each other and you're sipping out of the top of their heads. Number two, you said it, clothing that I can actually wear. Clothing that is not just for my one day in the park that says Disney splashed across it in 6 different colors. Give me, and I'm going to say the same thing for DVC. Give me a long sleeve shirt that I can wear that is not ostentatious and garish and nasty that I can wear on a daily basis. Give me a polo that says Walt Disney World on it, the old school 90s stuff that just has the logo. I would wear that all the time, but most importantly, make it good quality. I want something that's comfortable. And I mean, I'm going to go right into, I say this with DVC all the time. Give me a Nike dry fit polo that has a reasonable logo on it or says Disney Vacation Club, and I will give you $80 for that polo. I absolutely will. And I'll wear it all the time and I'll advertise for you. But when it's this big goofy logo of Mickey wearing a safari hat with 3 suitcases and giant binoculars and it's splashed across the back in a Hawaiian print, I am not wearing that anywhere. Not just not at Disney. I'm not wearing that anywhere.
Yeah, I
Well, I mean, I
agree.
think if you don't want to wear it at Disney, you don't want to wear it anywhere because if you can't even bring yourself to wear it in the parks or at the resorts, then there's no way you want to be wearing it going out to dinner with your family in your hometown.
Scott, as a man of similar age to me, would you wear 3% of the stuff they put out for DVC?
First of all, I'm much younger than you. Second of all, no. I mean,
Similar. I said close enough.
no, you said it. A quality polo. There's not a lot of stuff that I buy. An occasional T-shirt, and I think that pretty much sums up my merchandise experience at Disney World. And we're there all the time. If there was, you talked about the polo shirts, even some hats. Give me a hoodie.
A zip up hoodie, a nice quarter zip. I would buy those in 4 different colors.
I'm a hoodie junkie. I
Oh, yeah.
miss Northeast Ohio just because it wasn't fall and winter, it was hoodie season. Give me some nice pajama pants, something comfortable that I can wear just lounging around the house. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to be a little bit apprehensive about wearing it at Magic Kingdom because it's a little loud, I'm sure as hell not going to wear it at the grocery store or, at work or anything like that. So I think if they just toned it down, simplified it, and thought about, can people use this every day? Is it something they would want to wear every day? They would sell so much more.
Mhm.
I don't want to see the pinks and the blues and it looks like
Donuts.
Play-Doh threw up all over your shirt. Yeah, donuts and pizza and macarons and
And remember how badly it backfired on them for the 100th when they were selling that merch that had like the dripping gold, what was looked like dripping silver. I mean,
it
they
looked
got
like dripping something.
skewered. Yeah, well, and they got like skewered on social media. I mean, this was something that like went viral because people were like, "What the hell were they thinking with this?"
Especially since they made that celebration last over 18 months and they said outright that it was to extend the merchandising of it. And then they just failed epically on the merchandising.
I did not buy a single 100th anniversary merch
We bought a
item.
Christmas ornament because that was the Christmas ornament that was available that year. And we always buy a Christmas ornament. And that is the only reason we have anything that has the 100th on it.
And it was just such a weird color choice too. I mean,
What was
it
it?
just
Was
didn't
it
make sense.
silver?
It was like a
It was
metallic
silver and lavender.
and
Purple.
lavender.
Yeah, like a
Mhm.
purplish silver. Very
Which is
odd.
right up there with the iridescent colors that they used for the anniversary. It was awful.
2024 merch was terrible. Everything about it was terrible. 2025 wouldn't surprise me if it's all camouflage.
Well, and you know
But
what? I feel like it has happened or was happening with Disney after they reopened for COVID and everything was being delayed. Tron was being delayed. Reflections was in that state of limbo. Epcot was delayed. They had nothing exciting to talk about. And so they would talk up merch like it was like the greatest thing ever. Like they literally would give you teasers about merch. And it was always such a letdown. And like they've
Merch
started
and
doing it with,
cupcakes.
yeah, I was gonna say,
That was
and
the
they started
theme.
doing with snacks. It was like they are like giving us teasers about themed food items and merch. And not only is that not exciting to begin with, the merch and the snacks are supposed to be the supporting elements for the exciting thing, not the marquee event. You know what I'm saying here?
And they pushed too hard. They had a common theme. It's like, we've got a new cupcake. It's got a vanilla bottom. And then the top has a chocolate done in an iridescent purple. We're throwing in a crab cake. And oh, by the way, on the top of that, we've got 4 Kalamata olives
So,
with
I
rainbow
mean,
sprinkles.
yeah, I mean, they went over the top with the snacks, over the top with the merch, talked about it like we should all just be tripping over ourselves to get to Disney World to buy the merch and buy the snacks. When we just all wanted Tron to be done, Epcot to be done, for them to finish any of the projects that they had announced. And instead we got cupcakes that you could take a cute picture of, but you don't even know how to eat because it's a mess.
You really want to take my money? Here's what I'm thinking. Look at all of these shops that are at Disney Springs. It's all merchandise that I like. It's all brands that I wear all the time. It's all things that I traditionally would have on. Go to the Under Armour store. Get them to put Under Armour polos and quarter zips and throw a little Walt Disney World logo somewhere on the left breast. Go over to the surf shop. Throw a little bit of Disney stuff on that. Go to all those high-end retailers that we all love and just give them a little Disney splash. Go into the Helly Hansen shop in Norway, and I have a lot of Helly gear, and throw a little mouse or a little old school Walt Disney World something on their hats or their jackets or their scarves, and I would buy it.
That's what the merch used to be. It used to be like like a shirt that had the little embroidered Mickey with like, with like his foot up, like the with his toe
Exactly what
up.
I'm referring to.
That's all it takes is, and the other thing is they used to have like the Golf Disney line used to have like really great merch. It was like the D, like the Disney D, but it was the golf tee as the one side of the D. And that was also very simple. It was just that logo on a visor or a hat or a polo or a fleece. I mean, that's something else too. I feel like that whole like golf Disney brand kind of went away.
Amy just wants.
People get kicked out of the parks for wearing shirts that say that. I'm not one of those people. Okay. I am appropriate.
Oh, sorry. I meant to mute myself while I was laughing.
She
I
said that with a
apologize.
straight face. Oh my goodness.
Anybody that has to say out loud that they're appropriate is not appropriate, just so you guys know.
Amy just wants on everything. I'm going to have to edit all of this out.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, for me, like, I am not a huge merch person now. Like, I don't, and my kids are kind of past the age where, like, they're looking for, like, the stupid little tchotchkes and stuff. But what would move the needle for me is what we've talked about is, like, just apparel that has, like, a simple logo on it, some really cute mugs, and even the bags at this point. Like, I just feel like the bags have become, like, so over the top. And they're so much more about the aesthetic versus the usefulness of the bag. I feel like I could design a really kick bag that would be so useful in the Disney parks. Lounge flies are so popular, but they're not even useful for like what you need when you're in the parks. Everyone has a list of things that they know that they need when they go to the parks. You need your charger. Having a portable fan is good. Probably having a place for your poncho would be helpful. There are just things that you need to travel with that sell me a bag that is going to accommodate all of those items that I need, but not be cumbersome. The lounge flies are cute, but they don't fit the stuff that I need. Half the time, like I'll only use the lounge fly if like I'm going to. First of all, if I'm by myself, like if I have my kids with me, even though they're teenagers, forget it. I can't. I need to bring a bigger backpack because between the three of us, we just have too much stuff. So, I just feel like they also should know what would be helpful for their consumers and create merch that would enhance their park experience.
I mentioned bags earlier. How many times have I walked into the Emporium or World of Disney looking for a decent backpack? And I have a serious backpack problem. I don't know if I've shared this amongst the group. If you walk into my garage,
Backpack. Sorry.
I have one of those garage organizers on the wall, and there are probably 8 or 10 bags because I have a bag for everything, and every bag is preset and ready to go. I have a travel bag, I have a light travel bag, I have a park bag, I have multiple waist packs. Sell me a nice, good quality bag of some sort inside the stores, and I will buy that. Sell a reasonably good waist pack, which, by the way, are back in style. I'm loving
Yeah,
this,
they are.
and I will buy that. But all they have is that cheesy, cheap black backpack that has Walt Disney World in multiple colors across it that's going to fall apart in about a month. It doesn't have individual pockets. It's just one big, cheaply made and designed bag. They've got that little tiny waist pack, same quality, that doesn't hold anything, that doesn't really have good pockets or good zippers. Everything rusts as soon as you bring it home because it's cheap quality metal. I will give you far more money for a high quality item like a bag if I know I'm going to be able to use it past those 3 days in the park.
That's the problem.
This might seem silly, but I would also I like to wear lightweight dresses when I go to the parks, and I always wear like biker shorts underneath them for comfort. And they know that. Like influencers, like female influencers, when they are sharing what they wore in the park, they all talk about the fact that they wear these shorts underneath their dresses or skirts. Like, why doesn't Disney sell some of those and put like a little like Minnie Mouse logo on the leg? Like, I would buy those. Again, like they're not looking at the things that their users or like their consumers are actually using. People are buying stuff before they go on vacation. Like to talk about, on the last episode, we talked about how first timers, like, you need to do a lot of research. Part of like the research and preparation for going to Disney World is buying the stuff that is going to make your trip easier. Kathleen, you bought those little fans. Disney does not sell those.
Right.
People are buying items on Amazon all the time before they go to the parks to have conveniences and to have things that are going to make their trip better and easier, why is Disney not like scouring the internet for finding the things that people are buying to bring to the parks with them and selling them on disneystore.com and selling them in the parks? Like
It
these are
just
the
occurred to
things
me
that
as
they
you
should be
said it. It's
selling.
not that hard to go to Amazon, look up Disney parks accessories and see what the top 30 things that sell
Mhm.
are and start making those for the parks and sell the heck out of them. It's not really a heavy lift by the merchandising department.
Yeah. If you sold a portable charger that had like a Mickey logo on it, people would buy that. People would use that in the parks and then you use it at home too. So it's like something you can use at the parks, but then something you can use at home. It just seems like a no-brainer to me that they're not even looking at the things that people are using in the parks. Like really small collapsible umbrella. Like they sell like really cheap umbrellas in the parks. Like, sell me a really good compact umbrella that I can stick in a backpack that has like a cute Disney World logo or a cute
Mhm.
character on it. But they're not going for useful. They're going for like the one-time thing because I mean it is the money grab because somebody will buy that pizza spirit jersey to take a picture of themselves eating pizza in Disney and probably never wear that thing again. And then they probably sell it on Poshmark or eBay. It's like we live in a time where people don't want to re-wear the things that they wore in the parks because it's all about the aesthetic.
Let's move over to DVC. We've talked about the parks, and I think we've touched on DVC. There is not a more hardcore, more captive audience of Disney fans than DVC members. We have invested a ton of money. We spend a lot of our vacation time there. We are oftentimes annual pass holders because we show up so often. We want to promote this brand. We talk about it to our friends. We talk about how much we love it. Whether or not it was a good monetary investment is immaterial to us because it makes us happy. For Christmas, I went out and had a license plate frame made for my wife that said DVC, I think Polynesian Resort or DVC member Polynesian Resort. Those types of things you would sell to almost every member who showed up on a regular basis. Give me coffee mugs, give me Tervis, give me corksicles that say it, give me license plate frames, give me stickers that say DVC member Polynesian, DVC member Boardwalk, DVC member Beach Club. They're missing the boat on that because those are easy $10 stickers that we'll put on our cars. I will buy a beautiful corksicle if it's well designed and says DVC member on it because I want to show that off. Why are those not all over the gift shops and the DVC resorts? Every member would walk out with something guaranteed. And these are already things they do. These are already companies they have partnerships with. They have the DVC member license plate frame at a couple of resorts.
Mhm.
I've seen them, I think, at Riviera and Old Key West when they're in stock. How hard is it to personalize that to each individual resort? We've seen how people latch on to their home resorts and they will defend it to the death because they love it so much. It gives them the feels. They want to show that off. As far as their apparel, we've talked about it. Scott and I just touched on it. I think they need to recognize that the average age of a DVC member has shifted and they need to start marketing to those of us that are in our 30s and 40s and maybe 50s because marketing to the original Old Key West buyers is not working the same anymore. In all due respect to those buyers, they started it all, but the bulk of DVC members are now people that are our age with children, and they need to start redirecting their designs and their marketing efforts to that crowd. Otherwise, they're just going to continue to lose sales.
People have gone nuts over resort specific merchandise. And we talked about DVC has probably over the last couple of years, they've had a couple of different designs. I know they had the pink one. Recently, they've had like a greenish,
A navy blue one.
they had the navy blue one. But, we talk about it is getting better slowly with resort specific DVC merchandise. Animal Kingdom, we just talked about. I think Riviera kind of started it, but people go nuts for that stuff. Look at the Grand Floridian when that bag came out in the
Mhm.
ears. You couldn't find that. What if
People
they had spirit jerseys?
people went in the morning waiting before the store opened.
Yeah, people would line up waiting for that stuff. What if they did spirit jerseys that were resort specific? I think people would just go nuts over stuff like that.
And the other thing is that they also fail to recognize or acknowledge or take action on the fact that we visit with much more frequency than, your average park goer. So if I'm going in January and I don't buy anything, when I go in June, I'm not buying anything either. I feel as though they need to be offering more seasonal type items. I know Beach Club with the beach bag, like it just was a natural fit because it's a beach bag and it's a beach themed resort. But, that's the type of stuff, like if they were selling DVC resort specific or just DVC in general, like beach bags at summertime, and then like more just seasonal specific or items that like each time you go, you might be like, oh, here's the new DVC ornament for this year, or the new resort specific ornament, or whatever, like for Christmas time.
Look at how people went nuts for that ornament they gave away at Hoop-Dee-Doo that Scott was talking about. That was a huge hit. Every
Yeah,
DVC member would want that for Christmas to hang off their tree.
Something simple
absolutely.
and you can use it over and over again. That seems to be the theme.
And it would make you buy stuff more frequently. Like if there were seasonal items that were offered only during specific seasons for specific reasons, DVC owners would buy it.
We went down specifically because Emily wanted a backpack from a festival. We planned a trip because she loved the backpack. Well, that's just another excuse to go to Disney. You tell me I can get new and exciting, good quality stuff every 6 months. Guess how often I'm visiting?
Yeah, and I mean, with as frequently as I go, I walk into these shops and it's like there's rarely anything new. I mean, like when Kathleen just went to Animal Kingdom Lodge, she took the picture of the merch that she was talking about before and sent it to me because it was like exciting that she walked in and there was something new, because you kind of feel like you're always familiar with what you're going to see because they're not turning it over, especially like the DVC specific stuff.
I feel like I could put a shirt out there with a picture of a heart, the state of California, and a picture of a grill. And Amy would buy it.
She'd buy two.
Simple. Imagine if that was a Spirit jersey, a knitted Spirit jersey. I heart California Grill.
I mean, honestly, if California Grill sold wine glasses, etched wine glasses that were good, like the type of wine glasses that I like, I would totally buy them. Or I'd buy a California Grill corksicle for sure.
Or a Territory Lounge plastic cup that said Territory Lounge.
For her wine.
Or like a California Grill like handheld charcuterie board.
All right, so let's end it with this. You get
With
one
California Grill?
item.
No.
No, not with California Grill. You get one item. What is the one item that you find yourself always looking for that you wish they made or provided or sold that you have not found, but that you would buy in a heartbeat?
I
Don't
mean, I
everybody
think for
go
me,
once.
the thing that I really would like is if they made a fleece for each resort that just had an embroidered logo of the resort, not with all of this crazy graphic text, just like on that like left breast embroidered logo, and sell it in a couple of different colors, full zipper.
We always look for stuff like that.
I have a hard time narrowing it down to one. So, number
Mhm.
one, a good quality backpack that had some kind of Disney logo on it. I'm sold. Number two, a like Vineyard Vines or good quality short sleeve button down classy shirt that had the Walt Disney World logo on it. I am totally sold. Or any solid DVC quarter zip, whether it be Under Armour, Nike Dry Fit, some quality quarter zip that I could wear in 2 or 3 seasons that had the Disney Vacation Club either in script or a reasonable logo on it. I would buy all three of those in a heartbeat. Done.
It's a toss up for me. I want resort specific Spirit jerseys because I love the Spirit jerseys. I think whether you live up north or even down here, you can wear them quite a bit. I don't want it to be loud, but if it was something very just simple, resort name, welcome home, I would be all over that. It's probably between that or Enchanted Rose boxers.
Trader Sam's socks or boxer briefs. Oh, the stool could go up and down.
2 shots of rum. Oh.
I just want more resort specific items, preferably shirts, hoodies, spirit jerseys.
So, guys, if you're listening out there from the merchandising team at Disney, you're welcome.
Give us a call.
You are welcome. I just want 2% of the cut. That's all. 2%.
I just want a backpack. Just give me a backpack after I help you design it. I will take that happily. Just give us some solid merch. Please, we're begging you. We want to give you our money.
I also would like for them to stop going so outlandish with the mini ears. I think that they've gotten to a point where like things are getting out of hand. Like these things, we wear them on our heads. Like they can't be heavy. They need to be comfortable to wear all day long.
Mackenzie
Not
has a
something
princess one with a tiara that weighs more than she does.
Yeah, I mean,
Did you guys see the new Tangled ones? The new Tangled ones have the hair that hangs, it's 6 feet down, it hangs on the ground. People be tripping everywhere.
It's just lanterns hanging off left and right. Looks like a mobile over a baby's crib.
yeah. I mean, honestly, that's what some of these ears have started to look like, though, with how much stuff they're plopping onto somebody's head.
All right, does that wrap up our gripe session for this one? We went from like super fun last time to let's just tear Disney apart in this episode.
Yeah. Well, it's like this is like group therapy.
They deserved it.
I do feel I feel kind of better. No, I'm sorry. I feel kind of better. It was group therapy. Like I feel like talking about what I want,
Exercise the demons.
it gives me hope that I might actually get what I want. And 2 minutes from now, I'll be snapped back to reality and realize that is not going to happen.
Oh, we can always hope. All right, folks. Thanks for playing along. As always, if you could head on over to Apple Podcast, give us a like, a 5-star review. And I haven't asked this before, but if you've got friends, invite them along. If you're a member of the Facebook group, invite your friends in. The more people interacting and the more people listening, the better this community gets. Amy?
And as Phil just mentioned, we have a Facebook group, so head over there to DVC Clubhouse and join in the conversation there. You can also find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, so we would appreciate you subscribing or following us there. And until next time, we'll DVC you real soon.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
See you guys.
And so our journey comes to an end.
Oh, no, please, can't we go back to page 1 and do it all over again?
Started this thing together, and that's how we'll finish it.
Because that, my friends, is where the magic lives.